How's it going, guys? Sal Natali here with Film Life, and today I'm going to show you what's in my audio kit. Okay, so my audio kit is a hard case, rigid case to be specific. And I like this because it keeps all of my audio gear in one central place. It also matches one of my camera cases that is from the same company, so they can all stack on each other and lock together. The other case has wheels, so I can just pull that around without a hassle. So, to open it up, I do the two clasps. So inside, I have divided it into three major sections, so let's jump into the first one. Over here, I have Sony headphones. These are good for checking levels and listening to audio, obviously. They give a pretty good feed on how things sound. Other headphones I've used in the past either create their own static or have a little too much bass or whatnot. So these do a really good job on giving the truest sound out of any set of headphones I have so far. Next, I have some windscreens. This one came with one of the mics, but I bought this one separately. I prefer to put the white one on the mics because that way you see it if it starts to dip in your frame at all, whereas the black one is harder to tell if you're shooting in dark situations. Next, I have a little microphone. It came with a karaoke kit like 7 years ago when we were kids, but I use it just in case I need an interview style microphone. And then I have a few different mounts to mount the mics to different objects, whether it being a boom pole, C-stand, light stand, or on top of a camera. Another windsock, and then just some cables, batteries. I keep one XLR cable in here kind of as an emergency. I have a cable bag that I'll go into another day, but this one is in case I don't have that cable bag with me and I really need to run an XLR cable. It's the shortest one I have, 15 feet, so that's in here just in case. And then lastly, I have the remote for my Tascam audio recorder. So that's what's in the first section. It all kind of sits in here in its own little way, it snuggles up together. And that is what I have on this side. In the middle, I have made my own custom foam inserts. By the way, when the case comes to you, it has these orange little dividers on both sides and the middle is completely empty. So I added the foam here. And then on the top, you can kind of see I put the eggshell foam pattern there in the open space and I glued it to the top. But in this middle section, I have the Tascam DR100. It gives me 2 XLR ports along with a couple other recording features. I got this because this is the type of audio recorder they had in my media study program at college. And I wanted one my own that I have set to the settings that I like. The other ones were always getting messed around with. The batteries would be dying. They're old, they're used daily. So I wanted one that would just be my own that I could record clean audio on. That goes in the biggest foam block. Next, I have 2 Zoom H1 recorders. You can see this one has a B on it. That is because in my pocket, I have the A1 recording, what I'm saying right now. I love these. I've used them a couple different ways. As you can see, I have a lav mic on, and that will plug into the audio microphone jack. The other thing is it's good for catching audio in a bigger room. It has 2 mics on the top. I was recording a documentary that hasn't been put up, but the audio situation in the room was kind of weird. It has seating 360 around it, so there isn't a more focus to a middle. So I was walking around with my camera with a microphone on top, and then I was able to put these on the 2 sides of the room, and between that I was able to record the audio of the room pretty well and pick up key conversation that would be good for the documentary. That just kind of lives on the side here. These are plastic, they're a little cheaper. I don't necessarily need to put it in its own block of foam. This is the first microphone that I purchased. It doesn't have a real name. The name on Amazon was generic microphone. Links to this stuff will be in the description below, so feel free to check it out. But this is what I used for a lot of years. It picks up pretty good audio. It takes a AA battery. It has a line on and off. I don't use this one much anymore. It has a bit of a hiss to it. Usually this also doesn't necessarily live in this case. I'll leave it with the Panasonic AF100, which is recording there. There's a little mount on the top of it, and I'll use that as an on-camera microphone. Next is this little guy. The shock mount came with the generic microphone, but I don't know what this microphone is either. It says Audio Technica AT8, the next number scratched off, 5R, made in Japan. But even though this is a small little guy, I had it in a bag in the closet in the back of my room for the longest time. I pulled it out. For some odd reason, I needed to have another microphone with me, but the audio on this is really, really good. So I've been using this as my main microphone on the shock mount, and then this will screw on to my boom pole that I'll use when I'm shooting video, whether actually holding the boom pole or I use it as more of an interview microphone up top on a C-stand setup. So those both kind of fit in on the middle section here. And then lastly, I have 3 different storage containers. You can't quite see them from this camera, but I have them labeled on the back inside. So when you open the case, the person that needs to get something can see what's in each one. This one's patch cables and splitters. I have a bunch of like 1-footer XLRs. I have different like 3.5 millimeter jacked XLR, both male and female of both varieties. I have splitters, so I can split the like aux cables, and then I have splitters for XLR cables. So that is what I keep in the patch and splitters cable bin. The next one is adapters and grips. I showed you some grips on the far side of the case, but I do have some more microphone grips. And then I do have cables that will adapt from one style jack to another. So I have a male XLR to XLR. I have a bunch of aux cables, whether it's male to male, female to female, 1/4 inch jacks to female. So it's good to have a bunch of these little adapters and cables when you don't know what you're going to be walking into an audio setup. Usually I'll use a bunch of these if I'm pulling audio from a patch board or if I'm rigging up a weird audio system. Sometimes I'll run audio from the Tascam into the camera, so that has an audio signal. And then sometimes in a 2-camera shoot, I'll run a splitter off of the headphone jack so I can hear one and then run it to another camera. That way both cameras have at least a track of the actual audio being recorded. And then lastly, I have lav mics and USB cables. None of my USB cables are in here at the moment, but I have a bunch of different little lav mics. This is the kind that I'm wearing right now. I have some from an old wireless lav mic system that doesn't work, but the lav mic still works. So these bins on the side are various little cables, adapters, just useful things to have with you. And then I currently don't have any in here. I've used them all up. I need to go purchase some more. But I keep AA batteries in the lav mics USB bin. So yeah, that's kind of how I have my audio kit set up. Nice and organized for the most part. That way you can find anything quickly. There are a few bits of audio equipment that aren't in here. I have a Rode microphone that usually lives in my camera kit. This audio recorder and lav mic usually live in my camera kit in case I need to lav someone up if I'm out in the world shooting photos, videos, documentary, whatever it happens to be. And then obviously my boom pole doesn't live in here. If I'm recording audio for the day though, I'll be able to just close this up, latch the fronts, grab this along with my boom pole, and then just head to set. I'm not really a sound guy, so this is probably how my kit is going to last for a while. One other thing that I'm looking to upgrade though is get another battery for the Tascam and a separate charger for that battery, because the Tascam runs through batteries really fast, especially the AA's. I'll get about 5 minutes of recording before I have to switch those again, which is not good for a set. But the internal batteries last a lot longer. I only have one at the moment, and I have to charge that one in the Tascam. I plug that into the wall, which I can't record with at the same time. So I'm going to get another battery so I can be charging one while I'm using one. So that's it, guys. That's a look into my audio kit. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like below. It means a lot. Also, feel free to share what's in your audio kit in the comments. As always, feel free to check out one of the other videos on the channel, and also please consider subscribing. Thanks.